Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth session of Business English. Today we are going to talk about useful expressions for business correspondence. This course is being presented to you by me, Shilpa Jha. Please rate, review, subscribe and recommend the course. Also please leave your valuable suggestions and comments below. Okay, so we have first we'll start off with common phrases for business letters, right? So in case we have to request for some information, how can we write about it in business letters? So here are some some phrases that you can use. I'm writing to inquire about, or I'm writing in reference to. I read or heard that and would like to know. Could you please send me whatever at the address above or below? Thank you for your assistance. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, what will you do when you have to respond to a request? So here are some formal ways to respond to them. First of all, thank you for your interest or inquiry. This is something that I've read every time when you send your resume across to people, or when you send a resume across, this is the first line they would write. Thank you for your interest or inquiry, irrespective of whether they have positions vacant there or not. Right, and then enclosed is the information you requested. You can learn more about this at. If you have any further questions, please contact or whatever. If you require assistance, please contact. If I can be of more help, please feel free to contact me at. Alright, even I can make mistakes, you know that now. So common phrases for business letters, sample sentences or requests. Could you please send me your most recent brochure, or could you fax me the results of the market survey, or I would like to order 10 copies of the book Touchy Situations. I would be very grateful if you could send me this information. Please return the enclosed envelope with your payment. Right, so these are the ways you can request somebody to get done what you want to do. Next is sample sentences for goodwill. Thank you for your hospitality. I enjoyed having lunch with you last week while I was in New York. Congratulations on your promotion to general manager. I want to congratulate you on your new position. I was happy to hear that contract negotiations went well. Okay, now we have some sample sentences when you want to introduce a product or a service. Right, so I'm writing to tell you about, or our new product is coming out next month. The product or service is designed to, I'm really sorry, I'll repeat. The product or service is designed to. Next is sample sentences for reference. Right, I'm writing in regard to, I'm writing in reference to. Please refer to the enclosed brochure or invoice. I hope you've had a chance to look through the materials we sent. Okay, next is when you want to confirm something, for confirmation. So I'm writing in order to confirm. I would like to confirm what we discussed last Friday. I would like to confirm the main points that we discussed. Moving on to notification, when you want to notify something, right? So I'm writing to let you know about. Please be aware or informed that. I would like to inform you of a recent policy change. I'm happy to inform you that your request for funding has been approved. Right? So these are ways you can notify somebody. Moving on, how would you offer assistance? Again, we have some sample sentences. We would be happy to, or if we can be of any assistance, then please don't hesitate to ask. Next is collection. According to our records, show that your monthly installment is past due. Please send the payment as soon as possible. I'm sorry, I think I've made 2 bullets mistakenly. Okay, next is salutation. What to write, like when you write a business letter, because you don't know what to write. Ideally, according to me, we don't even write Dear Mr. Brown or something, but I think in formal letters, what I used to send and receive, I realized that a lot of people prefer writing Dear. So you can write Dear Mr. Brown, Dear Mrs. White, Dear Sir, Dear Madam, Dear Sir, Madam, Gentlemen. I'll tell you where to use what in the later videos. Okay, next is for business letters, how would you start? So we are writing to inform you that, or we are writing to confirm, we are writing to request, we are writing to inquire about, right? Next is, I'm contacting you for the following reason. I recently read or heard about this and I would like to know whatever, right? Having seen your advertisement in the newspaper, I would like to whatever. Then I would be interested in obtaining or receiving what information you want. Then I received your address from here and would like to. Next is referring to previous contact. Okay, so thank you for your letter of 15th March. Thank you for contacting us. In reply to your request, thank you for your letter regarding, with reference to our telephone conversation yesterday, following to our meeting last week. It was a pleasure meeting you in London last month. I enjoyed having lunch with you in Tokyo. I would just like to inform the main points we discussed on Tuesday. Next is making a request. How would you make a request? You cannot directly write please, right? So what all can you write? We would appreciate if you would, or I would be grateful if you could. Can you please send me, or could you possibly tell us or let us have? In addition to, I would like to receive. It would be helpful if you could send us, or I'm interested in obtaining or receiving. I would appreciate your immediate attention to this matter. Please let me know what action would you propose to take. Okay, next is offering help. When you want to offer help, what are the ways of doing that? Would you like us to? We would be happy to. We're quite willing to. Our company would be pleased to. Okay, how about when you have to complain? You cannot just say get lost or I didn't like it, I hate it. So there has to be a way of saying it. Let's just see what are some sample lines that I've found out. The first one is, I'm writing to express my dissatisfaction with, or I'm writing to complain about. Please know that the goods we ordered on something date has not arrived, or we regret to inform you that your order is now considerably overdue. I would like to query the transport charges, which seem unusually high. Okay, next is giving good news. We are pleased to announce that I am delighted to inform you that you will be pleased to learn that. Similarly, giving bad news. We regret to inform you that I'm afraid it will not be possible to. Unfortunately, we are unable to. After careful consideration, we have decided not to. So, and you can use these sentences and like say any bad news that you have to. Write them up. The next is very important. Things to consider before writing a business letter. Right? What all things you should consider. The first thing is your objective. Why am I writing this letter? Why are you writing it down? What do I hope to accomplish? Or what action do I want from my reader? Right? What do you want? What should be the ultimate outcome of the letter? So you have to frame your sentences accordingly, because people are so busy that they don't have time to read rubbish. You cannot just write down entire story. They need to know the crux or the reason why you're writing it down, right? Second thing is your audience. Very important. Who will read the letter when you're sending it? Who's going to read it? Then how can I appeal to the reader's interest? How can you appeal to him so that, like maybe like people write, first thing is you write in points, then you write crisp stuff, and then you bold the most important things so that those things are visible. Or a lot of times we add like red or green color in the background, for that specific word, so that you can know that that okay fine, this word holds importance. That ways, how can you appeal the reader's interest? Then what attitude might the reader have towards this information, whatever information you're providing? Then will the reader consider the news as good news or bad news, right? So again, like if I highlight something in red, I'm in a way trying to tell him that this KPI or this something has degraded, right? So I'm trying to give him a bad news. So I'm trying to make him consider that it's a bad news. And similarly it goes for good news, right? Because green and red have been conventional colors, I believe. Next is organization. So what information? Yeah, organization means how you are going to write the business letter, and we are going to definitely talk about the business mail also in the future sessions. But right now I'm just talking about a business letter, right? Right. It's pretty much similar only, I feel though. What information should be included in the first and last, right? What details does the reader need to know? What is important? Does my conclusion motivate the reader to do something? Because if you are sending a business letter, you are probably you probably have an intent behind it. So is your intent so clear that the reader would be motivated to do it? Or do I end the letter in a polite and a positive manner, right? Because in case you're not that depends on whom you're sending it to. Are you sending it to a vendor company, or are you sending it to a client? Depending on that, how will you reply? Okay, then comes professionalism, right? Do I use a professional business letter format? Obviously, I think that is a yes. You have to. Do my language and style show positive attitude towards the reader, the company, the product, or the information? Right. Because whomever you are sending it to, in case you give a very harsh, harsh way of, if you have very harsh way of writing, I don't think a person is going to help you out the right way, right? Then will my reader be offended by reading anything? Of course, even that's a very important thing to consider, because until and unless you don't consider something, sometimes when your work and all is pending, you tend to be a little harsh. But again, with that harshness also, you have to maintain a certain professionalism and poise. You cannot write certain things on a mail, otherwise your work may be hampered. Okay, next is proofreading. Exactly, one of the most important things to do. Are there any spelling errors, typos, etc.? Is the format right? Have I signed my name right? All this is important. Next is the writer's checklist. Right, first is the receiver. Who are you writing this to? Someone you know, as in some friend and all, or someone you don't know, to whomsoever it may concern, like madam or business partner. Then how would you expect the receiver to respond? We talked about it in the last one. Then the sender. Who are you? Like, what is your relationship with the reader? What role are you assuming in the letter? Are you a colleague or a friend? And the context. What background information does the reader need? Right? Bring the reader up to date first, right? You have to tell him all the information. Then establish a connection. As requested, it was nice meeting you in Toronto right last week. I read your article in Big Magazine. Supporting details, time frame, sequence of events. Right? Then you have message. What do you want the reader to know? What do you hope to accomplish with the letter? Right? I'm writing to inquire about. Could you please send me? Polite request. Please, would you mind? Could you please? Would you be kind? And all that. Then medium. What is the appropriate format? Fax, email, business letter, memo, informational note. Which way? Right? Next thing to consider is the tone. That's again a very important thing, because that's going to decide whether how your writer is going to respond to it. Right? It should be informative, polite, businesslike, friendly, humble, assertive, urgent, or irate. Right? So that's it for today, guys. I hope the lesson was informative. Thank you so much.